جميل ولا لا يا عباد قول الحق انت جميل ولا لا. يشوفي انا بلعب مع ابني بقول له تفوت الثوره. ايه ده دي مشكله كبيره يعني. دي حاجه انا مش عارفه دي حاجه تزعل ولا حاجه تفرح، بس هي يعني حاجه غريبه. يعني احنا بقينا كلنا عندنا مشكله نفسيه. والله يعني احنا عندنا مشكله نفسيه. احنا مبسوطين ان احنا كنا جزء من ده، وفي نفس الوقت بنقول يعني مش عارفه يا ريته ما حصل مثلا. يعني يا ريت احنا ما كناش عملنا ثوره كان هيبقى الوضع احسن. لا بس ما كانش هيبقى الوضع احسن، كنا هنفضل زي ما احنا. يعني طب في كده في جنون، في لخبطه، في يعني احنا بقينا كلنا انا اظن يعني ان كلنا بقينا مرضى نفسيين. احنا كلنا عايزين دكتور نفسي يعالجنا بجد. يعني انا مش عارفه نفسي انا هقدر اشارك في التغيير ولا لا، هقدر يكون ليا دور تاني ولا خلاص يعني احنا عملنا كده مره فشلنا يعني. دي احنا كنا مؤمنين جدا باللي احنا بنعمله، وكنا مؤمنين جدا ان احنا نقدر نغير، وكنا يعني كل واحد نزل وهو ما عندوش مشكله يموت في سبيل ان هو يحقق الحاجه اللي هو نازل عشانها. احنا كنا كده. دلوقتي احنا فين؟
So recently I heard that a France 24 correspondent called Sonia Dridi was attacked in Tahrir Square, and that another journalist, a friend of mine called Ashraf Khalil, saved her. And I heard about it because someone had tweeted about what happened to Sonia, and so I sent out a tweet of my own saying, does anybody know if she's okay? And Ashraf responded and said that she's a bit shaken up, but she should be fine. And my first reaction, of course, was, you know, oh my God, another woman attacked in Tahrir Square, and another foreign correspondent, because there was Natasha Smith, a freelance journalist, who was attacked over the summer. There was, of course, Lara Logan on the day that Mubarak stepped down last year. There was a French journalist who was attacked very soon to the time that I was attacked, or very close to the time that I was attacked in Mohammed Mahmoud Street almost a year ago. So it's, you know, it's a pattern of attacking women and also women journalists. And just to give you an idea of the impunity with which these men who attack women behave, they know they're being filmed. They know that there are lots of correspondents at the time that they're doing this, but they also know that no one in the authorities is going to move or do anything to hold them accountable or put them on trial. No one who attacked Lara Logan has been caught. No one who attacked me has been caught. I've tried to sue the regime, but my lawyers filed a complaint on my behalf. The Prosecutor General has not accepted it as a case. No one, as far as I know, who attacked Natasha Smith was caught. So it's this pattern of both the regime and normal, ordinary people attacking women. And what really worries me is that when the regime attacks, it gives a green light that women's bodies are fair game and it's okay. And then that gives a message to ordinary men that it's okay to attack women because the regime does it. And then when none of these ordinary men or the police or anyone from the regime is put on trial, then it becomes like open season. You can attack women, and it's very upsetting that kind of just how vicious the attacks have become and how so many people just shrug them off. I think it's important to see the men who attack women like this, either in, you know, kind of street sexual harassment, whether it's catcalls or groping or more serious sexual violence in the street, as just cutting across all sectors of Egyptian society. Because I think one of the most dangerous things that people do is to say, oh, it's the uneducated poor. And that's just simply not true. And all that does is that it just kind of puts the problem on someone else's shoulders and says, well, you know, we, the good, educated, rich people, don't do that. But if you ask the women who are harassed on the street or who are groped or who are survivors of sexual violence generally, they will tell you that it cuts across all classes. It doesn't matter if you're religious or not. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It's just men doing it to women. I think many things changed. Many things have changed in Egypt since my parents' generation to now. I think Egypt is a much more conservative society, and that conservatism has been fed by both the now kind of the ex-dictator Mubarak and also the Islamists, because you had this situation that has been brewing for years in Egypt, where the most legitimate form of opposition to the regime was a religiously based one, because Mubarak couldn't close the mosques, and so it was mostly out of the mosque. And to fight the religious opposition who tried to delegitimize him, Mubarak would use very conservative clerics. So it was conservative Islam versus conservative Islam. And when you have this growing atmosphere of conservatism, the people stuck in the middle the most often are women. And you've got a society also that has pressured women into covering up more and more. And so some women will cover up for genuine religious reasons. They will wear a headscarf or they will cover their face because they genuinely believe this is what Islam requires of them. But some women cover up because they think this will protect them from sexual assault. Some women cover up because they're pressured into covering up. And what's happened now is that the women are blamed for not dressing properly if they get harassed or groped or sexually assaulted in any way. There's been this kind of, eventual kind of chipping away at the taboo, but there's still a lot of shame associated with sexual assault in Egypt. So almost a year ago, for example, when I was sexually assaulted, there were at least 12 other women who were assaulted at the same time, but I'm the only one who's been trying to sue the regime for it, because a lot of the women are either too ashamed to speak out or their families pressure them into silence. Some of the most famous cases, the woman who was dragged through Tahrir Square and stripped to her underwear, and another woman who was beaten and then kicked out the then head of the military junta. They've been silenced by their families. They've been prevented from speaking to the media, again, because of the shame associated. But a few months ago, you had a group that organized a protest against street sexual harassment. It was sexually harassed. So there's a lot of push and pull. But women have been using these very now famous cases to say, look, this has been happening for years. We have to do something about it. And they have been pushing for a law. We're not there yet. There are some things on the statutes right now that you can use, but they're not really clear, and we don't have a definition of what street sexual harassment is and who can be taken to court. So this is something that feminist groups are pushing for.